It's not gonna be like, okay, I just started working and I'm just gonna spend it all because it's my money. I know what I want. Should I need a background music or something? Okay. Hey YouTube. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this now. But I don't know how to do the intro, but please call me Angelou. I want to start this episode with this topic because I wanted to set the tone for the channel. I have other two themes that I like to share, but it's more about empowerment, productivity, and lifestyle. I don't really have a fun lifestyle. It took me like almost 2 to 3 years to even like think about it because I feel like no one's gonna be happy about my life or like, yeah, I also wanted to start a podcast back then. I also feel like making an episode on why I'm starting this channel because there's too much. I feel like it's going to be fun. Talking about money and finances in general shouldn't be taboo because you're gonna be talking about it for the rest of your life. You should be having healthy discussion, an ample amount of healthy discussion. And I'm saying healthy because the bad stuff shouldn't and doesn't have to outweigh the good stuff. It's better to normalize it even if you have those awkward situations, especially at work with different people. But if you put it on the table, it's gonna be easier for you over time. It's gonna be less and less awkward because you're already empowered and you have sort of an idea. And don't get me wrong, becoming a designer in any field is like, but the workload and demand is just beyond. And I remember even working from home, I'd work like around 10 a.m. 10 a.m. and then I'd finish like 10 to 11 or 12ish midnight. And I'd literally only get up from my desk if I wanted to go on a bathroom break. I do the same thing over again. I can't even think of like food because I have to cook for myself and things like that. But I just have my coffee or like whatever drinks that is available or like what drinks that's easy for me to prepare. I wanted to openly say that it's better to normalize having conversations about money and finances, especially in the workplace, because you're gonna be dealing with it for the rest of your life. By definition, from registered financial planner in the Philippines is a process where you stop working for every peso and learn to start putting money to work for you. I kind of like that definition because it's supposed to be a process. Like, it's not just saving money. It's not gonna be a one-time thing like, okay, I bought this life insurance policy and that's it. Or I got this stocks, I invested in this company, I bought this property, and that's just it. It's not gonna be like that. So over time, in different seasons of your life and in different situations, like you go through parenthood, or you go through marriage, or you go through school. Actually, I'm going back, but if you're going through these things, your needs for money is going to be different. You're gonna have to face major challenges. And without financial planning, it's gonna be harder for you to, pursue your goals or just maybe staying afloat or even, doing things that you really wanted to do. So obviously, COVID showed us that anything can happen overnight or even in a split second, right? And it showed us that if you're not prepared, it's gonna be really, really hard. I remembered when the lockdown first happened, it was supposed to be my last month because I resigned from my first job because I was supposed to take the board exams and I was going to review, and that didn't happen because of the lockdown. Come to think of it, I had to stop working and it was the lockdown. And how am I supposed supposed to take care of myself if I don't have cash flow? Good thing for me was that starting my first few months all the way till the end, I really had that mindset that I need to save and get out of this paycheck, you know. So that's when I had like my like self-discipline in the very best of like season. Like that was a really good season because I don't know, like I was very self-disciplined that time. And I feel like it's important to have the awareness that you need to do this. Even if you don't want to work with a professional, you can actually do that for yourself. If you're more of a techie person, then you actually can do that. Like no one's gonna stop you. But at least do it. It's not gonna be like, okay, I just started working and I'm just gonna spend it all because it's my money. I know what I want, and it's not that. You need to set aside something for yourself because know that you're working for yourself in the future. You are gonna be dealing with yourself your whole life, and if you don't have that financial planning set up, it's gonna be harder for you. I don't know, I feel like I'm bored at this moment. And I'm gonna give 3 things. The first thing is to assess yourself, right? You yourself know what are your priorities are, what's comfortable for you, you define that. If you don't, just at least be aware. What are your goals, or what do you want out of life and things like that. I know it's hard because sometimes it changes, and I've been through that. Like I can't even take my own goddamn advice. Yeah, just be patient even if you're not. The second one is, of course, taking actions. And I'm kind of like a hypocrite telling you that I'm in the season of really staying afloat. And again, talking about my frustrations of having this guilt of being just disappointed at myself because I'm not doing the things that I know I should be doing. You know? And I'm not forcing anything on you, but if it helps you, then it's very good. Because at some point, it did help me. If you don't want to do like such big things, take big actions, it's fine. But do know that depending on the goals and the available tools you have, there's a ton in the market right now, and it's good to do market research, but don't sit on it too long. I think that's where the danger side of the whole making a decision thing. Well, I'm a licensed financial advisor, and so I have clients who do window shopping, compare things, compare companies to companies, compare products to products. Come to think of it, those are actually like the same products, just a few bells and whistles. They sit on it too long because they wanted to get more value from their money. But I get it. I mean, even me, I do market research, I compare things, but I don't want to sit on it for too long. There are certain consequences to not take any action. Believe me, I've been there. I guess what I'm just trying to say is, yes, it's okay, it's fine. It's actually better if you do window shopping and just, you know, weighing the scale, checking your what is that? Yeah, like do pros and cons, because you're actually making sense. It's okay to do market research, go window shopping, at least have 2 to 3 options, and then just weigh it and maybe sleep on it for like 2 to 3 days, and then go and make that decision. Commit to that decision, and then after that, if things don't work out too well, then pivot. It's important for you to have this urgency because you don't want to have sad moments like beating you in your race. Like sad moments, I'm talking about the sickness, accidents, and death. You always hear this every time you have a financial planning. You always hear this. And the third one is making conversations with the right people. I know looking for that right people is very, very difficult because you wouldn't know until you try, right? It's like being in a relationship, any sort of relationship actually. I guess you could start with people who are already, you know, in the thing that you wanted. someone in that position where you want to be, you can ask that person, right? You can start making conversations. Just do it. Yay! That is it, you guys. Thank you so much for the inside laughs. I'm actually laughing. No, I'm dying inside. I'm happy that I'm doing this, and I appreciate you if you've made it to the end. Oops, sorry. I want to do a lot of things, and most people do have these feelings, especially at this age, especially when you're 18, right? You wanna do a lot of things. We all know that. But when you're like 22, 24, and it feels like I'm quote unquoting Taylor Swift. So